long as you guys are talking in front of the mic, that's the biggest key.
Okay.
So yeah, you can adjust it so you don't have to lean forward.
Man, yours is high tech, mine's not.
Or you can just pull the whole thing.
We're live? Are we good?
Oh,
We're good. We're live. Welcome to the show, ladies. I didn't realize when I was talking to Leanne about bringing you guys on the show that I was talking to some Guam superstars. Jeez, I did my I did my research, and both of you guys are runners, and Manami, you're a former swimmer. So I wanted to figure out who we're gonna start with as far as stories. So we'll talk about both your backstories. You can go as in depth as you like, because I know you started in somewhere different. You didn't start your running career until later in your life, right?
Yeah. How did you know?
I do. It's my job.
Oh
It's my job.
I have a stalker, hon. Okay, who's gonna start?
Yeah. So whoever wants to start with their backstory, I know both of you didn't start running, so that's the most interesting thing to me about the both of you is that your sort of career started somewhere else, and then you decided that you wanted to pursue running due to all personal interests or whatever it may be. So yeah, Rhea, how about we start with you?
Yeah. So I think
Where does it start for you?
I told the story like a bunch of times, but yeah. So I started running in college.
Okay.
And I had to. It started with my dad diagnosed with his cholesterol really high, so the doctor advised him to start running. So I would go with him to a track in Cebu, Philippines, and then I'll be waiting for him for like hours. So I'm like, eventually I like, you know what? While waiting, might as well do something. So I started running with him, and then I think fourth year in college, I ran my first half marathon at 2 hours 16 minutes.
Is that
with my mom?
No,
it's not.
Okay.
Well,
That's a good start.
That's a good start
okay.
for never doing a half
For never
marathon.
doing anything.
I think the longest I've ever ran was 4 miles, and I thought I was gonna die. Honestly, that's the honest to God truth. Like 4 times around this, I was like, forget this.
In the Philippines?
Yeah, in the Philippines, Cebu. That was my first. It's the Milo Marathon.
So what were you doing before then? Before you started running, were you athletic at all? Were you?
Well,
in
I was into
sports?
dancing.
Okay.
So I think my cardio was like okay.
Okay.
But not really like sport.
And then you're also a physique bodybuilder, right?
Yeah, I started bodybuilding in 2015.
Okay. So
And it was
the bodybuilding came after.
later, yeah.
Okay.
Because I had, as a runner, we have to cross train.
Right.
So I think I fell in love with lifting weights. So I was like, let me try something else. I'm getting bored with running.
Yeah. So how long were you dancing for?
Well, I was since high school.
High school.
Yeah, and then college, and then started running with my dad, and then I moved here in Guam.
So you're not originally from? You didn't grow up in Guam, or
No,
anything?
I was born and raised in the Philippines, and then moved here with my husband Dave, and then oh my gosh, running in Guam is like big. Like every Saturday there's 5K. So I was like, my first 5K I'll never forget is the Triple J 5K.
The color run?
The color.
No, it wasn't the color run yet.
Oh, yeah. That was recent.
Yeah, it was like the route was like you go up the JFK hill. And oh my God, that was like the hardest race ever. But, and my first 5K, 27 minutes.
Nice.
And then after that, I just kept running every Saturday, wanted to improve, and then started doing speed workouts, and
then 19
then that's
minutes,
it.
18 minutes.
That's kind of where you started becoming serious then.
Yeah, you get so competitive because there's like, you see like same faces every Saturday, and then okay, want to beat him. I want to.
And there's like a 70-year-old lady that's running 24 minutes or something.
Exactly. Your ego is kind of like, damn it, why did you beat me today? She's like way older than me. So you tend to like get competitive,
right?
Especially in Guam.
Yeah, I bet, especially with the community being so big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're friendly.
So yeah, so I started running in college. That's it.
Manami, how about you? Your story is pretty interesting because you were a swimmer since a very young age. Yeah.
Yes, I started when I was 3, but didn't really get into it until I'm about 7, 8. Yeah.
And 7, 8 being competitive then.
Being competitive, doing the swim meets
Okay.
and competing off island.
Yeah.
And I swam throughout middle school, high school, and a little bit of college in Japan.
Yeah.
Or I swam until
Go
middle
ahead. You
school
can
on
think
Guam.
about it. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And then I moved to Japan for high school and a little bit of college, and I swam competitively there. And then after I quit, I gained a lot of weight. A lot of
Like
weight.
how
A lot.
much?
I was
Like,
probably
what's a lot for
like,
you.
like more than
5
you'd
pounds.
like to, or
No. I was
or-
like 30 or 40 pounds heavier than now. That's a lot.
and
I was like 140
was it?
pounds, and I'm only 5'2".
Okay.
So that was pretty big. For
Okay,
my-
I need to
obese
see a
according
picture of you.
obese according to the scale, right?
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
did-
know.
My clothes were.
I'm obese. I mean, I don't look obese, but
Oh, sure.
considering my height, I look at the scale. I'm like, oh man, I'm 30 pounds overweight.
No. Hey.
Well, as an Asian and 5'2", 140 pounds is pretty heavy.
Yeah. Okay.
So I started running, and I also wasn't mentally in a healthy place. So my mom just said, okay, let's go do a 5K. And I basically died. But
You should see her mom. Oh my god.
she has abs,
So,
and she's
Yeah.
40.
so your mom has essentially got you into
She got me into it
into running.
2013.
Okay.
And then I started
Very
running.
recently then.
Very
remember
recently.
that.
Yeah. I remember everyone. I was like, oh, why is everyone
I first
beating
met you
me?
at a Bank of Guam 5K.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That was pretty big. Yeah, so I wanted to lose weight and get healthy, so I started running. And then I tried triathlon in 2014, but I didn't really get into it because it was just so much training,
Yeah.
swimming, biking, and running. And then
Right.
I went back into triathlon again after focusing on running in 2016, and then I just fell in love with triathlon. So I'm doing both running and
triathlons. And you competed multiple times over the last year, yeah?
Over the last year, I did 3 half Ironmans. It's 1.9K swim, 90K bike, and you run a half marathon at the end.
Jeez.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
My goodness.
I don't know.
I am out of shape. For sure. I've determined it, boys. I've determined we are out of shape. I don't know about that 13
Well, you
mile
guys
run
should
at
run the
end.
Yeah,
Guam
you know-
Marathon.
No, I can't. I
the
can't.
Iijima. There's a 5K.
I've been given the stigma that flat-footed people are not runners.
I
Is that a true statement?
No, I think my
Um,
fiance is flat. And he's
And he's a
kinda runs.
triathlete.
Okay.
What's your
No,
excuse?
he's not a triathlete, but he rides his bike.
Oh my god, you just
He runs like a mile or two once or twice a week.
That's me and you both. Me and you both. After the second mile, I'm like, oh, I'm done. I have to
There's a
pause.
5K,
I'd rather go do
5K.
some push-ups than run. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've run into that whole sort of stigma. So what made you stick with, wanting to run? Yeah, you chose to run because you felt like you were overweight, you were in a bad place mentally, you meant.
Mm-hmm.
And why stick with it? Because it's painful. Running's a painful thing. Honestly, it is painful.
Why did I stick to it? Well, basically because I wanted to stay fit, but also because I made a lot of friends through it, and
Yeah.
I can run
So
with Rhea, with other people.
so
and
definitely the
Yeah, runners
community
are
has a
so-
big
yeah.
factor to it.
runners are friendly people.
Okay.
they're friendly and competitive, so it keeps me motivated.
So it's like a huge oxymoron, right?
It's like,
Yeah, you're like running together and like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I have to
beat her
keep
next
up.
race,
I'm
man.
just gonna drop her real quick by
Yeah, I'm
picking
gonna
up-
beat her.
Stay.
next.
picking up my pace.
they breathe right behind you, or like they just keep going faster, and you have to you're
Keep up.
obligated to keep up,
Right,
kind of
right.
thing.
What is the main, so going into a run, whether it be a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, a marathon, what is the preparation into going? Is it just wake up and run, or does it take weeks of preparation or a week of preparation?
Well,
I
depends
guess
on the
you guys
distance
can
that
choose
you're
who
gonna
wants
be
to go
running.
first. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends on the distance. Like,
Okay, let's
well, but
let's go
you
let's go
gotta-
long distance and then we'll train off of that. So half marathon and up, right?
you gotta make sure you train for endurance first, because it takes a lot of time to develop endurance, and then eventually, if you're like so competitive, you can start doing your speed workouts. But you gotta train for endurance. You cannot just wake up one morning and, hey, I'm gonna run a half marathon
Some
tomorrow.
people do that.
Ray Chargaloff
Some people
did
do
that.
No, I suggest don't do it.
I think Ray Chargaloff
You're gonna
ran a
hate
mile.
running if you're gonna do that.
I think he woke up one day. This is what he said on the podcast when he was here. He woke up one day and on Tuesday he decided he was going to run a marathon from Dededo down to Naval Base back.
I
to
saw him
Adelaide.
that day.
Okay.
I was running I was doing a distance run, and I saw him, and I was like, man, I feel bad for him because he was like walking. He was like,
Yeah,
I don't
he
know.
said-
He
he said-
looked like he's just gonna give up pretty soon. But see, that's the reason why, like, you just gotta have. We always hear it. You gotta respect the miles, because dude, you're gonna hate running
Yeah.
if you're gonna run and not train.
He said he lost half of his water within the first 30 feet because
Wait, did he finish?
he finished
the marathon?
it. He finished
Yeah,
it.
but how long did it take him?
It took
to
him
finish?
forever, apparently.
See, that's why you
He
hate
said-
running.
He said at one point he was only running by the inch. You know, that sort of
So that's
gait.
so he's not
even a
running
gait, it's-
anymore.
yeah.
Some people can just go,
Yeah.
wake up and do it,
Right,
but
right.
it depends on your goal too. If you just
Yeah.
want to finish it
Okay.
within 7-8 hours,
Yeah.
maybe you can just
Yeah.
kind of.
If you just want to say you finished a marathon, okay,
Right, right.
That's
And I
fine.
think that's the goal he was going for, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
he wasn't going for time.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, if I'm gonna say I can do this, I'm probably gonna do this.
Yeah. Well, anybody can do a marathon. Like, whether
if you put your
whether you
mind to
run
it.
it,
Okay.
you walk it, you crawl, or whatever,
Yeah.
you can do it. But it's just like, what is your goal? If you want to finish it under 4 hours, under 3 hours, under 2 hours, then you gotta train for it, put an effort to attain that goal, right?
Right.
So, yeah, you can do it.
Anyone can
whatever
do
your
it.
goal
Depends
is.
on your goal.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of mental then.
Yeah, the
Yes.
long distance. Yeah.
Yeah, the long distance. If you're gonna train for it and you have like a 20-mile run, it takes 3 or 4 hours
Right.
at least.
It's really you like first mile you're like, okay, I'm good, I got this. Second mile, it's easy.
And then you hit
and then
halfway.
Halfway, I'll be like, oh shit. Come on, Rhea. Come on.
Yeah.
You
hit-
keep
hit
talking
the-
to yourself.
You hit
it's
the
really more mental.
the existential wall, right? That's what you hit.
Yeah,
the
that's
sort
actually
of
more like
wall,
20
right?
miles, right?
That's
20
more at 20 miles
Wait,
because you have
20
6
miles?
more to go.
Wait, you're almost done and you hit a wall. at
No,
20 miles.
no, you're not almost done at 20 miles. You don't want to say that to a runner because I'm.
Yeah.
Even like 20, like mile 25, you always hear people, "You almost there, 1 more mile."
Yeah.
No, I'm not almost there. It's 1 mile. That's
Yeah,
still long.
so mentally, what are you doing when you hit that wall? When you come to the wall and you're like, oh shit, that's it for me. I'm gonna give up. This is it. Somebody bring the bicycle.
you go
and
back. You go
pat
back.
me on the bike.
You go back to what your goal is, and you want to attain it. You fight for it. You trained hard for it, and this is it. This is the time that you're gonna.
Yeah.
This is my chance to attain that goal. So
Yeah.
that's always what I'm thinking.
Yeah, this
when I
past
do- with
this
that.
past year, I tried paddling for the first time in my life, and talk about endurance. We would paddle 9-10 miles.
Oh, paddling
you know,
is hard.
And
I like that.
yeah, and
Try that.
you know, I they made me sit at seat number one, and seat number one's the pace guy, the stroke, you know, and
Is that the hardest?
oh my goodness,
they follow
is it
your
the hardest?
rhythm?
They follow my rhythm. So in my head, I'm going, you know, it's my metronome sort of to like keep me at a pace. But then maybe like 15 minutes in, I'll be like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. But in my head, I'm telling myself, wait,
Yeah.
there's 5 other people who are depending on me.
you.
Even no matter what seat you're sitting in, there's 5 other people depending on me to stay in the race with them.
Yeah.
Right. But as a runner, you're
It's
by
all
yourself.
you.
Right.
Yeah, it's all
Right,
you.
there-
Well, I like to think about food, like what I'm gonna eat after the race. So
I like
it's
that.
like a motivation. It's like, okay, if I complete this many miles, then I'll eat
Pizza.
this many. candy. Or like when I hit a wall, I like to take in candy, like eat candy to
Right.
get that sugar rush.
Okay.
And just to take my mind off of the pain.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Wait, so
I tend
you
to-
literally carry candy with you?
I do. I do.
That's her secret.
Is that an
Okay, that's
is that
her
an
secret,
orthodox
people.
thing to do, or
Well, some people carry candy.
Yeah.
Or like chew energy
just something to like
chews.
suck
Carbs,
on, or
like really fast acting like carbs.
Yeah, like
Sugar.
just straight up sugar.
yeah, yeah.
With like caffeine.
Is that like that goo thing that
The
they
goo,
kind of
yeah.
give out?
Yeah.
But I like gummy bears.
Gummy bears. They don't get stuck in your throat when you. I'm just man, you're blowing my mind right now, because it's. I can't even think about candy when I'm running myself. You know, it's kind of.
For me, I chew gum.
I can see the chewing gum because the
It
action
keeps-
of
it's like
the
the
action
mint.
of chewing gum is
Chewing gum is
actually
kind of
can
hard.
become a routine, like a
No, for me, it's
motor
the
function,
mint
right?
that I taste.
I can't chew gum
It's
and
like
run.
breathing, like I don't know. Good.
So
That makes your breath smell good.
You know, in case like, hey.
get to the water stop, right? Like, God, I need water. Like, whoa. That girl didn't brush her teeth before she came out running. I know it's 3 a.m., but shit.
Oh yeah, you're always chewing gum.
Yeah, I always when I race. I don't know
But-
why.
But is it something that really like helps you get through, like push?
It's the minty flavor.
The
It makes
fresh-
It doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
yeah.
It doesn't make you tired though, because like
No.
you're
do you
using
Yeah, I
muscles, right?
chew.
So you're expending energy.
I know. I don't know. I'm just used to it.
Yeah,
Wow, interesting.
yeah, that's very interesting.
Yay. That's my secret.
Don't you swallow
That's
it?
it. No, never. That never happened.
Wow.
Yeah, I hope not.
Because I tried chewing gum and I swallowed it a couple of times.
Holy cow.
I stopped.
And then you went, and it just went shot forward, right?
I wish.
I don't know. I feel like the gummy bears is worse
Yeah.
off than the gum.
Well, you can kind of swallow it and not worry about messing
Stuck
up
in
your
your
stomach.
stomach.
Yeah. I don't know. I just love candy. That's it.
Yeah. So you just make it a part of your. So you tell yourself as you're running. Sorry, I'm really just trying to break this down.
So,
of
like,
the whole candy situation here.
Well, I always have like candy every couple of miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have like a chock full of just candy
Gummy bears.
Oh no, anything, right?
Oh, I have goo. So
Okay.
goo is like 100 calories a packet,
Right.
and it has caffeine. So I take like 3 of that if I was running a half marathon, and then I would have a secret stash of gummy bears, just in case I.
Well, it's not a secret anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a secret anymore, but if anyone wants candy, just ask me. But
Only if it's illegal should it be a secret, right?
it's legal.
Okay.
Totally legal. But yeah, if I bonk or just need a boost, I have
Yeah.
like a backup kind of.
Right.
Cool.
Training regimen. What do you guys do on your daily? Okay, so it's off season. Or does running ever go off season?
No.
Never, right?
Depends on your race.
Okay.
So
Well, yeah.
Or what you're racing, because there's a 5K every weekend, so just
Well,
depending on if
if
you're
it's
gonna
your
go for
lifestyle,
go big time.
yeah,
if it's a
your
lifestyle, then there's no off season to it.
Okay.
It's part of your daily
And
routine.
Guam doesn't really have an off season.
Yeah, because there's always 5Ks there.
Yeah, and because it
Yeah.
doesn't get like freezing cold the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the temperature is pretty constant. So
That's an advantage.
yeah,
Guam.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, what how does your training regimen go? You guys can decide who's gonna go first here. Compare notes.
Okay, you go first. Okay,
Yeah.
you go first.
I'm a triathlete right
Okay.
now, so I do run 24/7. No, just joking. I run like 5 times a week.
Okay.
And I'm heading off to Australia next Tuesday for 3 months to train.
Just to
train, but
are you training for any specific?
I'm training for. Well, I'll be doing a couple of races there.
Yeah.
I haven't really decided the calendar yet, but I might be doing a full Ironman distance. It's you do this many things and then you run a marathon at the end, kind of thing.
Okay.
Training starts now. And that's it.
Yeah. So how do you keep your body healthy, at least?
Eat a lot of good foods 80% of the time.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because
Eat candy 20% of the time.
So there's no healthy food in the middle of that. Sorry, my definition of good food is bad food.
So good food, nutrient dense food.
Okay.
80% of the time.
Right.
So like eat veggies.
So I'm
and
about to open
fruits.
up your nutrient dense packet right here, and
I love rice.
Okay.
So rice is a staple. What else?
vegetables.
Veggies, any veggies except
What?
eggplant.
What? I love eggplant.
And then protein, of course. And then drink a lot of water. If you feel like a tingling, like pain or anything, I usually take an easy day or like a full-on rest day, or even mentally if I'm feeling like I can't do it,
Right.
like really can't do it. And if I push this, then I'm going to be burnt out for a long time. Then I'll just take a couple of rest days. I'll ask my coach, can I skip today or skip tomorrow? And just refresh, go to the beach, eat some candy, and
Either.
I love this. I love this candy theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
cookies.
How about you, Rhea? What's going
What
on
my
in your
day looks like, like regular.
as far as keeping in peak condition for when a race does come up, because it seems like for me 5K would be like, oh yeah, that's a race, but it seems like a 5K for you guys would be like,
Oh no, 5K is a race.
that's
5K is a race.
that's some simple stuff. That's spare change.
No, we wish.
5K is hard.
Yeah,
It's
it is,
hard.
right? Well, my day usually looks like this. I wake up at 3:30. I set my alarm 3:30, 3:45, and 3:50. 3 times, in case you know.
Yeah.
And then I wake up.
I'm a 5-time alarm clock person.
Oh, okay, you beat me. I only have 3.
I'm a once but snooze.
And then I go to the gym for 4 a.m. They open at 4 a.m. And then I do my cardio, so that's where my running, or I do spinning, or I go to Stairmaster, and then I lift weights. And then at night I go back to the gym to work out with my husband. And that's it. So that's where I do my it's so quick, right? So that's where, like, when I do my cardio at least an hour. I used to like do it like more than an hour, but now it's like kind of, we're getting old. No.
No.
No, but
is
that's
there
how
a real
I
reason to do cardio for more than an hour? It seems like
Endurance.
okay. Because it seems like you would strain the body more than help the body, right?
It depends.
It depends.
It all depends again to which race are you going to be running. If you're going to run a marathon or a half marathon, well, then you have to run more than, or at least the distance you're going to be racing.
So if you're going
To
be
get
running
your
for
body
2
used to
hours
that,
and-
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
To get your body get used to that distance, running that 13 miles, 26 miles. You cannot just like train for like 10 miles and then you're going to do a marathon.
Right.
That's, I don't know. For me, it's like really,
So
like
you have to
for
actually
me,
run a
it's really
marathon
important
to be
train.
ready for a marathon.
Well, for a
marathon, maybe,
beginner,
like 20.
Yeah, for a beginner, you can at least like run 20 miles, like, and then just pray the last 6 miles.
Or you can just pace yourself really good on the first 10.
Just have some
and then-
serious heart for the last 6 miles.
Yeah, you know,
Like,
put
this is
your
all I
heart into
trained
it.
for, but here we go.
This is it.
This is it. Do or die.
They say that the marathon starts the last 6 miles,
6 miles,
though.
yeah.
So
Interesting.
it's like you pace yourself for the first 20, and then you.
And then
There,
you
and
really,
then the mental part starts right
Yeah.
there. Like,
well then okay. So what I'm getting from it is that you really start to pick up the pace in the last 6 miles, because that's where it really matters.
You conserve energy so that you can run the last 6 miles.
Okay.
I don't know, some people, but I mean, you always, because even the professionals, they run like 20 miles. They say like not conserve,
Right.
but somewhat conserve for 20 miles. And then the race starts at the last 6 miles, because you never know what's going to happen after 20 miles.
For sure. Someone can cramp, right?
that's why too some like advanced runners, they train more than 26 miles.
Yeah,
They run like 30 miles
Dang.
to get your body really like
used to it.
Right.
Because these guys are
Yeah.
running like 5-minute miles.
Yeah. So
Right. So they're running at full pace for 20 miles.
And then
Yeah.
fuller pace at
Fuller pace.
yeah, full or extra, whatever you call it. They give it all the
Right.
last 6 miles.
Right. Right.
But you can get away with 20 miles.
Yeah, if you're
Or-
a beginner, you can train 20 miles. 20
Yeah.
miles is good. If you can do like a little like couple of 20 miler there.
Maybe just 2 before your race. At
Right.
Yeah.
1 or
Because-
2.
Yeah. Cuz you get to prepare physically and mentally.
Right.
too. And then don't forget nutrition.
Yeah, your nutrition.
Right. What's your nutrition? We know hers is candy and good food.
Depends.
Candy and rice.
No,
I'm
depends.
blown away. I'm blown away.
Off season or
Rice is
no, really I
on season?
cuz
on
I am
season.
cuz
Right,
I am
right, right.
cuz I'm kind of like a bodybuilder too.
Right, right.
you are
So-
a bodybuilder.
Yeah, I saw some articles that says you're a bodybuilder, so you
Oh,
can't say
dang it.
kind of.
No, well, yeah, I eat oatmeal in the morning with egg whites. There's your protein and your carbs. And then with fruits, strawberries or blueberries. And then snacks can be like some protein shake or
Chips?
Quest, or if I'm off season, I eat some donuts. Dang, donuts. And then on lunch is usually chicken breast. I love chicken breast.
Right.
And then dinner usually like steak.
Yeah.
Yum.
I love steak too. I'm good. Right, huh?
On a nutritional basis, where do you guys sort of pull and drive your nutrition from? Is there certain programs? Is there a certain regimen that runners follow?
Well,
when it comes to
because
nutrition?
because bodybuilders, man, they're good. They're good in like
I respect
portioning
them.
and weighing their
Okay.
food
I can't do
and
that.
knowing their macros.
Right.
They're good. So I kind of know like what I have to eat when I am preparing for something for running or bodybuilding.
Right.
So when
And they're two different nutritional
Yeah,
regimens, right?
they are,
Because
because when you're a
bodybuilding, you're
bodybuilder,
trying to be more lean.
you need more. We eat more protein.
Right. Right. Okay.
And
And less water intake.
Yeah, more during the prep, but
Okay.
towards the competition, we kind of start
Tapering off.
our water. But with running, we have to make sure that we're always hydrated.
Right.
Our carbs are high to give our body, we have the
Energy.
energy. Yeah, so it's totally different.
Right. So there'll
but
never be a time when you're gonna do a bodybuilding competition and then a big race at the
you
same
know
time,
what?
right?
Though they always say that you cannot do both bodybuilding.
But you
and
do
running at the
both.
same- But I
Okay.
do both. In fact, I
But training
ran
wise,
my
right?
yeah. But
Okay.
I ran my fastest 5K when I was on prep for bodybuilding,
Wow.
and ran my fastest 10K during a prep too.
But that's only
So-
Rhea.
I know.
If anyone else does it,
Because my gosh, I'm lighter. I'm lighter.
yeah, that's true. Lighter. You
Yeah.
kinda
So
run
I ran my PRs of my 5K and 10K during a prep.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So it's
Yeah, that was.
so you're kind of like
Well,
the
because
you're like-
bodybuilders, man, they need to do cardio
you're like the
too.
you're like the outlier of what people say is the norm, right?
I try to prove people wrong because
Right, right.
one time
Yeah.
because when I started lifting weights, you cannot do both. I'm like, no, I can.
Yeah.
So I think that was like someone really told me. Well, someone told me that I cannot do both. So I think that was like the driving
The
force
source,
that like
yeah.
that made me like I can do both. And then I guess I proved her wrong.
Well, a lot of athletes or a lot of top athletes, they hit the gym.
Yeah, we
see a lot
need
of
both.
But they're
It
not.
needs strength
But they're not
training.
bulking. You're not trying to bulk though, right?
Oh
You're
no,
more
because the
physique
division
then, right?
the division I'm in is they call it bikini.
Okay.
So it's kind of like athletic looking
Okay. Okay.
or those like
Yeah. So it goes hand in hand. You're not
Yeah.
trying to like
no
have the biggest biceps and
no.
yeah.
She needs the most shred, most abs, 8-pack.
But, well, they're under the fats now.
Right. Okay, and for you, Manami, it's for being a triathlete, right? Mixing the three sports together as far as biking, running, and swimming, all different aspects of using your body and using your muscles. You know, how do you really prepare your body nutritionally and
Nutrition.
fitness wise, right? Is that a word, nutritionally? yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
She was just thinking of her candies again.
Yeah.
Well,
you don't have to go into the candy, but it's like, how do I say this?
what do I eat?
Yeah. How do you prepare yourself for? Okay, I'm gonna go from. It's swimming first, right? Swimming first, then biking, and then running, right? So how do I go from in the water, swimming with resistance, and then going and climbing hills with the bike? Like, is there any sort of difference in the physical preparation?
There is. You just need to swim. You just need a bike, and you just need to run. You can't just. You can't.
Come on, boo.
You can't
asking the obvious questions here.
Yeah. I mean,
But really,
swim.
that's
Just
hard.
Right.
What you're doing is hard.
It is. It's extremely difficult.
I tried it once and I'm like, never again.
Yeah.
I'm never doing
so
that thing.
what was so difficult for it about it for you,
Me?
Rhea? Yeah.
Holy cow. I'm I'm not a good swimmer.
Okay.
And I hate bikes. I only do like stationary bikes in the gym. So yeah, I did it once last year. Remember?
I remember.
I'm like, oh my god, don't leave me. I was swimming and then we went biking. I had like I borrowed a bike from a kid.
I know. I saw. I was like, oh, Rhea's riding a cute bike.
And one of my friends, when she saw the picture, was like, oh, you just need a basket in front of your bike and you'll be perfect. I'm like,
With
sure.
flowers,
Dude, yeah. And I was, I think, one of the last people that finished the biking.
Well, you beat a lot of people on the run.
And then I started catching people during the run. But nah, never again. Never. Because it's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. I don't know how you guys do it.
It's hard if you've never really trained for it.
Yeah, see that I went there without training.
Okay,
that's
so
why
how did you transition then from naturally you're a swimmer, but how did you transition from being just a runner to a triathlete? What made you make that final decision? Like, okay, this is kind of what I want to do.
So my friend signed up for my friend Jennifer Camacho. She signed up for
let's name her Jen.
Yeah, let's name her Jen. She signed up for a half Ironman. Oh, can we cut that out?
No. This is live.
Well, she signed up for a half Ironman, and I was like, okay, I'll do it too. Mm-hmm. But then my okay, I'll do it too was kind of okay, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Like I want to get serious, so I looked online for a coach, and I got a coach, and
Here, you looked online for a coach here?
For a coach. He's in Australia.
Oh, okay.
So all right. I signed up and I was like, okay, I just want to try doing it. So he gave me a training plan, or he gives me a training plan every week, and I train.
So it's up to you. It's up to you to stay disciplined to that sort of regimen, because he's not here to be like, where you at? You're not here for 4:30 training.
Totally up to me.
Yeah.
So I tried to get up.
Did you have a hard time when you started?
I did. I mean, I was a swimmer, but I wasn't swimming after I stopped swimming.
Right.
So getting back in the water and just swimming, and
especially ultra competitively,
and you go in the water and you think you can swim as fast, but you can, and I just swam
in your
like
mind,
for 5 minutes.
Swimming like Mike Phelps, right? And then
not as fast as him, but
Ian Thorpe.
Not as fast as him either. But I mean, it was just like I was shocked at how much I couldn't do anymore. So I mean, that drove me a little bit just to get better. And then the biking was hard, but thankfully I have a fiance who rides.
Okay.
Yeah, what was that? Was that Leo Palace race was your first race for biking? I saw you like.
Oh yeah. How do you know?
Because we saw you. We were driving there, and I'm like, who's this girl like wearing short shorts in her bike and on the side of the road? I'm like, hey, that's Manami.
That was me.
That was your first.
I was in my running clothes. Yeah. Everyone was in their biking clothes, and I was there like, I think I'm in the wrong place. But I mean, I did okay.
It's like showing up to a chicken costume party as a cow, right?
Yeah.
That was your first biking.
That was my first ever biking experience, and then I rode with some people, and I fell over the bike, and I was just like, oh, maybe it's not my thing. But then I did like a really big race, Tour of Guam, at the end of the year, and I almost not died, but I almost died. Like I got dehydrated. My fiance was like, "Oh, you can do it with 2 bottles," and I was like, "Okay." And then I did it, and then I was out of water. I mean, like really out of water.
Like you're squeezing the bottle as
yeah,
hard
I
as you
was.
can,
I really was. And I didn't, I had Sour Patch, but I mean, it wasn't enough. It was like a 60-mile race and in the heat and all that. And I was just dying.
Yeah.
Always hydrate. Always have extra bottles.
Does swimming help? Did swimming help you like with your biking, transitioning to biking and running with like?
I think it did, even though I don't really feel it, but I think I did because I used to train like 2-3 hours a day.
Okay.
Sometimes twice that amount. So I think I had the endurance.
Right.
And swimming
Just a
is
matter
like
of
back
like
and
getting
forth.
it back, right?
Yeah. Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Swimming was just mentally like you have to shut yourself off. Like I can sleep in my swim.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not now, but
Yeah.
I used to.
Sorry, I was just trying to picture that.
Yeah,
Well,
Wow.
I can.
How do you even swim in a straight line when you're not even thinking
that's
about where
easy.
you're swimming?
That's the easy part, and then you
What?
You should, man. Oh man.
like the
I
pool
can't
is
even
like
swim.
25 meters.
Okay.
So let's say you take 25 strokes. So you have that, like a car. You can put
Okay.
it on automatic.
Right, right.
and
Cruise
become-
control.
Yeah.
What if you're
Back.
like stronger in like one arm?
Mm.
Like when you do like freestyle,
And
right?
all you're doing is-
stronger in one
all
arm,
you're
so,
doing
like,
is left
but when
turns.
you use your left hand, it's like not as strong. So you're
but
eventually
yeah.
like going that way toward you're turning left, right?
Oh, it's not like kayaking or paddling.
Okay.
Like you kind of, if you put your arm in straight, then you'll go straight. If you put your arm in to the left, then you'll go to the left, kind of thing.
Right, right, right.
I don't know. It's hard to describe, but
So it doesn't matter how much strength you're putting in, as long as your arm's straight. Then
yeah, you kind of, it's like natural movement.
okay.
If you do it for like
I don't
10
know.
plus years.
I'm a froggy swimmer and a doggy swimmer. That's it. I do this. That's all I do. I can't. I try for the life of me to just kind of like do the
I can only
do the whole stroke. I can do back. I can do back float. That's as far as I go.
Well, back float is fun.
And then there's your. Okay, everybody starts somewhere, right?
Start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just start looking like a synchronized swimmer when I
Yeah,
start
they're like
doing this.
lift your hand,
Yeah.
and then the other one, and then that's it. Your backstroke.
But yeah, trainings like that, swim, bike, and run.
Yeah, yeah.
I did go to the gym yesterday.
Yeah, I saw her, and that's how she told me, "Oh, let's go to the podcast tomorrow." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I had no idea you were coming till
Oh, see, I didn't even
last
know
night. This
that
morning?
I'm coming.
Was it this morning? This morning? Yeah. It was this morning.
She's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I
cool.
didn't know.
It's her date night tonight.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
She has
supposed to
a
be our
date
date
with
night,
me,
so you
so.
know. We're gonna go watch movie, but you know,
Oh, you are.
Manami is leaving on Tuesday, so
Yeah, for 3 months.
Training.
Training.
Yeah.
Training.
Okay.
yeah.
Injuries. How do you prevent injuries? I mean, it's easy to get injury. It's easy to get injuries prior or while you're training for something as big as a race, by overexerting yourself and doing maybe possibly too much. How do you create that balance when you're training for a run? Let's just stick to running because
Running.
that's what we're here for.
Well,
yeah.
the number one thing is you take your easy days easy, like
Yeah.
easy. If I can run like 6 minute miles for the race, I would run like 8 or 9 minute miles on my easy days, and then on my hard days, I just go hard.
Well, you gotta listen to your body. If you
Yeah.
feel something when you're running, you feel something. Oh, my ankle is kind of feeling weird. So
Yeah.
take a day off and then
I
try
see.
running again the following day and see if it's still there. And
Yeah.
you guys just gotta listen to your body. Don't feel like you're a Superman or something. But
Yeah, because the more like you think it's okay, but you keep doing it,
Yeah.
and then it just gets worse and worse to the point that you
that
can't
you cannot
run
even
anymore.
run anymore. So listen to your body. If you feel something, then stop and then get back to it.
Are there moments where you can feel like something's wrong midway through and then you just kind of push through? Because I can't imagine.
Like you mean you run 5 miles,
Yeah.
then you went 2.5, and then oh shit, I have to go back.
Right,
I'm
right.
Feeling something.
Right. And is because if you stop, then you're not really preparing yourself for that mental push when
then
it
if
comes
it
for race
hurts-
time, right?
But if it's
If it's like pain, if it's like sharp pain,
Right.
I mean, I say
Like your
stop.
kidneys
well,
hurting.
Yeah.
usually you feel it after a run, right? Usually when you feel something, you feel it after the run.
Yeah, it's usually either before you run or after you run. That
because the endorphins kind of mask that
I see.
And something you feel, if there's really something wrong, it masks it. It masks it.
I have a problem with that word too. Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of feel it after after it. If you feel something really, really not like bothering you, then don't.
Yeah.
And plus, well, I don't want to talk about like running shoes or something because we are all different. Like there are a lot of running shoes out there that.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out.
There are a lot of different running shoes out there, so you just gotta test whatever shoes that's perfect for your feet. And because I get a lot of people asking me, "Oh, what shoes are you wearing?" Like, well, I'm wearing this and that. And
it's to match my shorts. Right?
Oh yeah, how did you know that? Oh my God, how did
it's a female thing,
you have to
right?
look good.
Right.
God dang.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah. So yeah, shoes too actually will also help.
Yeah.
do you guys get special moldings, insole moldings for your?
Well,
for your
Yeah,
shoes?
they're actually like in the mainland. They when we went to a road runners sports, they had our feet like they made a like a cushion. Yeah, they made a mold like a
you put your
cushion,
feet like in a cask or a cast, right, or something.
But
like
then we don't have that here, so we do.
Yeah, we do.
Renee said we have where.
She comes to the expo, yeah.
See, you guys have to go.
I remember the orthopedic insole lady.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we will have it at the expo. So you guys have to come. Really, it really helps. It really helps. We did it like 2015 when we went to Jersey. And it was so nice when I put on my shoe. It was like it was hugging my feet, the bottom of my feet, and it really helped. But no, I didn't know that we have it here.
Well,
So.
I mean, I listen to like other podcasts and stuff, and they talk about like running and how actual shoes doesn't provide doesn't give a human the natural stride that it's supposed to run. That they're supposed to run as if they were barefoot, and that's why a lot of people sort of like promote those vibrams.
I'm not sure. But I'm not sure though, because you're gonna be pounding your feet for like how many miles? Like, there's no support on your feet.
There are gonna be glass.
Yeah, but
that too.
The guy who ran to marathon.
I saw a guy that ran barefoot, like literally barefoot.
Yeah, it's in Vega. Eddie
Bandit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Eddie Vega.
Mr.
Eddie Vega. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I tried getting him on the podcast.
He must have like really calloused feet.
Like probably like 4 inches, right?
Yeah. Like Hoka's on his feet. Like Hilton.
Like you don't want to massage those feet, right? Like, massage my feet.
But if he goes to like those like when you go to the Philippines, or like you dip your
the fish.
your feet in the fish will probably like it's a feast. We're having a feast right here. Come on, people.
Party over here. Tank 6. Fish jumping from tank to tank.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Mr. Vega. Ultimate respect for you. Because
Yeah, I can't run.
To run a marathon,
I'm sorry.
to run multiple marathons in a year
Barefoot. That's something.
Yeah.
But I can't.
I think that would take more mental, right? Than I can.
I don't know how he does it, because when I ran barefooted, I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so I chased. So my house almost got broken into one day, and
Here?
Here.
And you did your speed workout after?
Yeah, I chased the kid. I chased the kids barefoot. Kids, yeah. I chased the kids barefoot all the way down the street, like down south, over towards like Napa, that area. Yeah. By the time I got back, blisters everywhere, all over my feet, and yeah.
And did you feel it while you were running?
Nope, I didn't.
See, it's the endorphins.
Yeah. Until I tried doing it again, I was like,
or it's the anger.
Oh.
You kids.
It's the flat foot.
Oh, dang. How many miles is that?
That was
2, 1.
Where down to there?
Yeah.
No, that's only like a quarter mile.
Mile repeats. Hello.
Speed word.
Someone needs to train.
Yeah, someone's gonna be running 5K.
Are you running it?
No, God, like I said, I'm not a runner. I can't.
UGM, they have 5K, 10K, half and full. Pick one.
If you can run 2 miles, then you can run 3. That's a 5K.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? I will consider it. I will
Oh,
consider
you can
it.
do like something with your crew, like whoever runs the
Look at-
fastest.
Okay, we need a volunteer right here.
Look at the way Matt smiled just now. He was like, nah,
You're
dog.
making him nervous. He's gonna run outside.
Nah. I'll do the salt cave, but I won't do a 5K.
Well, you can run it. Walk it. There's people who walk it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make Matt
Just
put,
for
we'll
fun.
make Matt push the stroller.
wait,
Wanna
wait,
push
wait,
the
wait.
stroller? And I'll be in it.
Miles did it
Yeah, my son did a 5K
last year,
Okay.
and he's
Okay.
only 3.
Well, you know, he walked.
He walked, but he still did it.
He walked and like watched his nails, like, and then run like a dinosaur. Yeah, but you know, you guys can do
Did
it
his own
too.
style 5K.
Yes.
And I think one of the winners last year was like a little girl, right? Like a 12,
Middle school?
13-year-old
Really?
girl from Japan.
From the 5K?
Yeah. Psst, Rene.
Psst, Rene.
Yeah. Can we get a fact check here?
Right. There was the winner last year in the 5K. One of the winners, not the winner. I think she was second.
Was it last
Like a
year or a year
13?
before that? Because I ran the 5K and then a kid beat me.
Yeah, like a 12-year-old
Yeah,
girl ran like a
Japanese.
20-minute 5K.
That's pretty fast.
A Japanese girl that comes, I think she came last year and she came in second place, I think. And she's like only 12 or 13, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll make Matt push the stroller. I'll be in the stroller.
Okay, good luck. Good luck, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Rhea, have you like traveled off island to go and run in different places?
Well,
Right? A lot of
I did a Dopey challenge in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a 5K, 10K, half and full marathon, 4 days of running in Disney.
Okay. I'm curious. How do you guys handle climate change?
Oh.
You know, when it comes to because it's hot and humid here, it's always hot here, right?
It's perfect here.
Yeah.
But if you go off island,
Really?
running off island is super easy
Really?
because it's not as humid
Okay.
and not as hot.
Well, one thing too is
So okay, go ahead. Good. Sorry,
the last race I ran, the last marathon I ran was the Boston Marathon, and I went there 4 days before the race just to get used to and then we did like a little run here and there before the race, but just to get used to the temperature.
Right.
'Cause, it was
Cold, right? I bet.
But then race
'Cause
day,
the Boston Marathon's later in the year, right?
it's April. It's like a week after
Earlier in the
United
year, sorry.
Guam Marathon.
Right? Like a week after?
A week after the United Guam. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, did you know that Guam Marathon is a Boston qualifier? In case you guys wants to
Is the only
qualify
one, right?
for,
The only one in Guam?
Yeah, the only one in Guam, and that was actually the race that I ran that made me qualify Boston.
Are there multiple qualifiers within our region?
Well, Philippines, there's the Milo Marathon, and there's a bunch probably. Japan, yeah, there are a lot. But if it's an advantage to have a Boston qualifier. Well, you know, Boston is like the EAT marathon for those that really, because you have to qualify to run it. It's not like I'm gonna sign up, so you have to qualify. So if there's a lot of marathons that wants to do it, so to have a Boston qualifier in Guam is really an advantage because you get to practice the route. And,
Yeah.
You know,
And you don't have to travel.
you don't have to travel
I
to
see, I see.
qualify, because it's only like this is their third year, fourth, yeah, UGM.
6.
What the? Well, you know, I missed 2 years already because I was pregnant. So yeah, so
That makes sense. 6.
Wait,
I missed 2 years.
Manami, why do you say that it's the perfect conditions though? Is it perfect
Because-
enough for it's extreme enough to handle any sort of climate?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because it's super humid and
Yeah.
hot
Yeah.
year round. And then you have the rain. So you can train in the rain. But then
Right.
it's always going to be hot. So,
Yeah, and then if you go off island and it's kind of cool, it's actually an advantage.
yeah, even
you
just
feel
going to
good.
Saipan.
You do better.
Yeah, Saipan's kind of cooler too. Or like less or cooler.
Yeah,
Well,
I can
that's
see it's
Yeah, you do
cooler.
better in cooler temperature and you train in.
Yeah. So just with like a 2 or like a 5-degree difference,
Yeah,
you run faster or like
Yeah.
you feel better.
really.
Yeah. So the harsher conditions you train in and you go off island and you have a little bit of a better condition than like super easy.
Right.
Well, you do better in the cold too because you don't feel
Yeah.
your feet, you don't feel your legs, you just keep moving.
Wait, wait. How's
know.
that? How's that a
I
good
don't
thing?
know. It's just like
You
oh,
can
just
breathe
get going.
easier.
Yeah.
Your muscles don't
You don't feel anything.
like you don't sweat as much either.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're not losing water, which
As much.
prevents dehydration.
Yeah. Kind of.
But that's scary too.
Scary
'cause
sometimes.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
okay.
you don't feel thirsty, so you gotta make sure you
You have a
hydrate. You
nutrition
drink-
plan
yeah.
for your race.
During the run, you have a plan
because you're
to drink.
yeah, like every other station, aid station
Well-
you drink water,
Right, right.
and then every other you drink Gatorade. kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but especially in Guam, like whenever you see a water station,
Always take
even
water.
even if you're not thirsty, take water.
Splash
Don't
it
wait
in-
for you.
Splash it in your face. Or
Yeah.
something.
Don't wait to get thirsty because if you're thirsty, you're already late.
Yeah,
That's too
I've been a water stop person for the United Guam Marathon. And,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, over at Adelupe, and I gotta say I wasn't the best water stop.
Why?
You have to
Provider.
practice.
I didn't realize you have to run with them
Uh huh.
to get it. The first time I did it, I stood there, and
Take it
a
from me.
bunch of cups just started flying off my hands. They're like, thanks. I'm like, oh no, so sorry.
See, it's a talent.
Yeah, it's an actual like.
You have to train for it too.
Yeah, even the runners,
You
though,
know?
when you take it, you kind of have to pinch the
Fish,
top
yeah.
so the water doesn't
I
spill.
want to ask: are the styrofoam cups ideal for?
No.
That's what I thought. I would think plastic cups are more ideal.
No,
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Or a squirt from the side, right? Like,
Well, those feel kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
The
they
foam?
had
The phone?
the foam.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Wait, the sponge. The sponge.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
foam.
oh wait, so you suck on the sponge as you're running?
No, you kind of squeeze it on you, so you cool yourself down.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you put the sponge in your back.
Yeah.
So you take this. Is this the sponge that you're carrying all the time, or
No.
is it just?
There's some aid station that had sponges.
Yeah.
And
We
it
have that
feels
at a
perfect.
UGM too, right?
Yeah.
We will have that.
Okay. Yeah, you're a representative, right? I'm so sorry about the water stop issue.
She's a runner also.
That was.
Yeah, she ran the 10
I
miler.
want to say that was 4 years ago, so I was totally out of my element. They just told me to come. I came and.
Well, you're running this year, so
Yeah, I figured out later, maybe towards the last runners, that I had to actually like run with them and just be like, here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's good.
You're
You figure
learning.
it out. You figure it out.
Yeah. At least you learned something.
Yeah. Man, I totally forgot. I wanted to go somewhere.
injuries.
Yeah, we were at injuries, preventing injuries beforehand. We talked about.
Well, I want to kind of talk about female runners
Sure, yeah, why not?
because
Bring us in.
guys
Reel me
don't.
in. Here we go.
Well, because guys don't
Here
really
we
have
go.
to worry about getting blood stains.
Okay.
having their
The letter
period.
P.
Right.
I mean, the mother nature.
The, the natural flow.
So I mean, what do you do, Rhea?
You're the one that brought up the topic, and why are you asking me? Manami.
I like it.
Okay,
It's
okay,
Called,
I'm-
it's called,
We need to call Rene.
you did the classic bait and switch right there. Right? Like, let's talk about this, but let's let Rhea talk about it.
Well, because she's,
Okay,
she's
I-
given birth and she's a mom, and then she's older and she knows more, right? And she's a nurse.
That's a
She's
good
a nurse, so you know.
Not a registered nurse. I'm a nursing graduate, but not a registered nurse.
Similar. Well, for me though, I was a swimmer, so I needed to learn how to use a tampon,
Okay.
which you can kind of swim and not bleed everywhere.
Right,
So
okay.
I learned how to use that. But prior to that, I mean, or aside from that, like you get period cramps. Like
Okay.
some people can't even walk, and
Right,
people
right.
can't even get out of bed.
I've sort of experienced that with, like Not me
Your
myself,
exes
but
or
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah,
girlfriends or
yeah.
your wife,
Girlfriend,
right?
and ex-girlfriends. Yeah.
Or
Girls
you-
I've dated.
Ex-girlfriend.
My girlfriend, you know, like, oh my God, I can't walk, I can't do anything.
No,
Okay,
but
understandable.
you
Yeah,
really get pain, like you got punched in the stomach, and or like you get needles in the stomach, kind of pain.
yeah. Okay.
So I like to take days off.
Yeah.
If it's really bad, I take medicine, I guess, painkillers.
Do you need assistance with what
Yes.
you do?
Well,
John is an
talked-
expert.
Well, John is an expert because he knows which tampons to buy.
Woo! Fiance of the Year award goes to.
Good man.
Well, Rene wanted to talk about this because she ran a marathon recently, and
Yeah.
you know, I think she trained through her
Is
period.
is there a moment where your period would come during a run?
Yes. Or,
Yeah, that
during a run?
happens. Well, yeah.
oh, I never had that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so,
that happens.
so you literally like have to know when.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I use an app. I know there's millions of apps where you can kind of track your periods. So
Right.
You input your period.
This is getting very interesting, by the way. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
and
Okay.
it's getting so technical, right?
yeah.
But you know, I think
go
it's
for it.
really
Yeah, yeah.
important
It's
because
super important. Agreed.
yeah, so I input when I had my period for 7 days or 5 days.
Okay.
And then it tells me like a rough estimate when the next one will come.
Okay.
So around that time, I would be cautious. So
Okay.
even though I don't have my period, I would use a tampon. Or if I'm having period cramps, I would take easier days or schedule an
Right.
easier day around that time.
So you don't find the periods of discomfort in a run when you know you have your period during a run?
do. I have period cramps. What do you have?
Before we start getting too deep into my situation.
No, yours is so interesting. Go ahead. Take your time,
Oh,
Manami.
Renee's is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
No.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, for me, because I think the stress of
Body
training affects my body, so my menstruation stops. I won't
Really?
get menstruation like for
Interesting.
the duration of my training. So yeah, I kind of
Oh, so
Yeah.
Renee has to talk about.
That's
When I was training, I actually had my period for like a full month.
a full month. See, that's the stress. That's your body is responding differently.
Well, I have enough body fat, so I always have
Right.
my period.
right. Yeah, you wanna explain to us what just happened here?
Yeah. That's a pretty interesting story,
Yeah.
Renee.
Go ahead and pick up the microphone to your face. You can pick it up. You can like literally like rise.
Okay.
There you go.
Because that's high tech.
Share the seat with
Yeah,
Manami.
yeah.
No, it's okay. I don't need
Yeah.
to listen to it.
Yeah. You
No,
mentioned
it was just really weird because I went from not really working out on a regular schedule and then working out 6 days a week.
right.
And so probably halfway in my training, when I got a little bit more intense, I ended up having my period for like almost a month long straight, and then it went away. But it was just
is that
Almost.
something that you're worried about though?
I
Because-
mean, it can happen to people, I guess, and
Yeah.
especially if
Yeah.
you're not on a birth control,
Right.
or something that does regulate your period.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just something that happens to people that are in intense sports or intense activity. They can get fluctuations with their regular
menstrual cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hers is different. It's
Heavy.
really opposite of mine because mine is like I don't really get it.
I think I'm the ideal.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
sort
You're
of
the
fall in
healthy-
the middle. You fall
healthy.
in the middle of what's going on.
Nothing. That's why after I ran the first time I qualified for Boston because I really trained really hard for it. I took a week off, like totally like not running, just relaxing, taking my time off. Dang, I got pregnant, dude.
I think that's a different story.
I got pregnant. No, because my body is like recovering, and now it's like loving the off the stress and stuff.
Right.
I can't take a day off.
So you
Cannot do not
Well,
Manami.
well,
do
so,
not.
So you
Do
think
not.
you think after your training, your fertility rate went up?
Well, my
Like
body is
your
just
chance of
back to
fertility?
normal,
Okay.
for
So
stage.
so how did you guys handle this when you first were experiencing sort of
Running in your period.
Abnormal- abnormal-
running in parallel with your menstrual cycle, kind of like having it under
He's
control.
so comfortable on talking.
I grew up all around women all my life, so
you can't really control it, right? It
yeah,
just
right,
comes.
correct.
So all you can do is, well, not all you can do. There's tons of things you can do.
Precautionary measures.
Yeah, like I heard taking.
Just pull the mic towards your face. Yeah.
I heard like taking
go.
painkillers before you actually get your period lessens the pain.
Yeah.
Or even taking a day off. Like let's say you planned a 20-miler on the first day of your period, which is like one of the worst days. Like you can kind of drag it towards the end of your period where it's lighter, or where your bleeding's lighter.
I see.
Well, it's expected that our body is gonna be stressed with, especially if you're gonna be running a marathon, training for a marathon. It's not normal. It's not normal to run that
your body
distance.
fat
So your
goes
body is
down.
really gonna get stressed.
So it's not suggested. So say you get your period the night before a run, you're not gonna want to run.
It depends.
No.
Everybody's body is different, and I
Yeah.
think like the two things I would have to say is just same with injuries is listen to your body.
Yeah.
You know, just pay attention to that and do what you need to do. And the second thing is it's okay to modify your training schedule, you know, for these kind of things. You know, if you're feeling you have a lot of cramps, you know, do a short run or take a day off and then make up for it the next day or, you know, later in the week when you're feeling better.
Right. Right. Very,
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can see how it can get difficult and challenging in that sense.
See what women has to go through. It's so hard, man.
It's like-
so hard.
It's like getting sick once
Very
a month,
hard.
a planned sickness.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, learn how.
Just pull it to you. Yeah.
You can learn how to use a tampon. You can always take a rest day. You can.
Yeah, I actually
but would
somebody actually asked me if I wear a tampon or a pad when I run. I'm like, no, I'm wearing a tampon.
Some people wear
I don't
pads.
like.
But which one is suggested more? Does it feel like you're wearing a diaper at that point when you're wearing a pad?
If you wear a pad,
Sorry,
the sweat and
just
the.
stop, just literally stop
Well, you
me.
know.
Stop me if you see.
No,
if
no,
it
no,
seems
that's
like my
fine.
questions are kind of like
Questions
going.
are good.
No,
Okay,
people
okay,
are
okay.
gonna
I
learn.
think
Okay,
it is
okay.
dependent on the woman and
Yeah.
what you're comfortable with because some women can't wear tampons.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But it's just that if you wear a pad when you're running, can you imagine the sweat and the
You wanna not bleed.
and
you
then
have
they
to put something.
they mix together, so it's kind of like no. I don't know. For me, no.
You're lucky you don't get your period.
Go tampons, go.
There's also a Diva cup. It's like a rubber.
What is
I
that?
haven't heard of
It's
that.
like a tampon, except
Pull it closer to you. Sorry. Yeah. Just don't forget to pull it closer to you when you talk.
it's like a tampon, except you can kind of leave it for longer. It catches your blood, kind of thing. I
Okay.
mean, I'm a tampon girl, so.
Right. Okay.
What do you use, Rene?
Not the Diva Cup.
What about you, Boo? No, just
I'm not a runner.
Well, you have to be.
Yeah. I can try. I can literally try. We talked about injuries. We talked about the whole. Wow, I didn't expect to get into the whole periods thing.
Manami's
that's-
idea.
Well, you know, that's
Renee's idea.
it's sort of a very interesting aspect though, because yeah, you're right. It's something that people don't really pay attention to.
Yeah.
That it's not necessarily a problem, but it's sort of an extra barrier that you have to be comfortable with as a long distance runner, because like I said, it can probably like pop up during your run, right? So you have to really keep track of where you why you got this.
I was just imagining having my period during my run. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I need to run home.
Then you just go off track,
Well,
right?
you know,
Straight.
You know, you can get your period during your run. So I
Right.
mean, what you can do is go into the closest gas station, I guess, and purchase some period stuff.
Right.
I learned to always carry wet wipes with you, especially if you're going to do a race too, just in case you go to the porta potty and
Yeah.
there's no bathroom.
Right.
Or just in case you go on a run or a marathon event and there is no toilet for you to use along the course.
Right. I've heard of people like, especially running, because one of the
Losing
routes
their
is
underwear.
going
Or
down
your
Route
sports
1,
bra.
right? Yeah, I've heard of people like running to the side and just like popping a squat.
Yeah.
Oh
taking a
yeah,
shit.
totally. That's
Like,
normal.
Yeah.
It's
That's
normal?
Like
Yeah, that's
that-
normal for
well,
runners.
Yeah.
Distance runners.
All right. So you get bowel movements
Oh,
while you're running, but you're not necessarily supposed to eat, right? Are you like
supposed
that's
to
why
kind of
I guess
eat.
that's why I was asking about the preparation, is because are you fasting before your run,
No.
or
Well,
are you eating like, oh, the recommended
See-
time before you eat is 6 hours, and
see, when you train for a distance run, you also train your
Body.
your body.
Yeah.
What you eat, you train your body through that, and then you kind of start a routine. Oh, if I'm gonna have a run tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., I'm gonna start eating at 5 or 4 a.m. You gotta make it like you gotta practice that too, so that your body's used to it. You just don't want to do like marathon race morning. I'm gonna eat today this and that.
eat
And
some
like that.
Eggos with the heavy
You
syrup
gotta
and
train.
butter.
Yeah, you gotta.
You have to kind of train
you
your
gotta
body.
You gotta train for that too.
Right.
So yeah.
Understandable. So what would it be? Like a banana and a smoothie, or something a little bit more heavy that the body, it'll take time for the body to break down? Because I drink a smoothie every single morning at 6:30, and
Go to
I'm
the
hungry by
bathroom.
8:30, literally, and I'm just sitting there. I can't imagine my body actually like burning energy off of a banana or just a smoothie, and then I'm hungry 30 minutes later because I've expended all this energy, and then I start cramping.
The marathon on Guam is
Yeah, just
special.
there you go.
You kind
There
of
you go.
have to wake up early.
There you
You
go.
know, it starts at
3.
3.
Okay.
3. So you have to be kind of like up at 2,
Right.
and eating at 1 or 2 is kind of not ideal. So what I like to do is eat heavy, either
Dinner.
my dinner or my lunch.
So
I
it'll
like
be
to
very
eat
carb heavy, like spaghetti or pasta, some kind of
I eat
noodle
rice.
or
Yeah, again, that you have
depends on
to
the
do
person.
that. You also want to do that during your training.
I see.
Like
Yeah.
if you do a distance run
right,
on Sunday,
right.
you want to eat something.
So you want to get your body used to
that,
burning that sort of energy when it comes
And
down to it.
when you eat before or when you wake up, you kind of want to go straight to the bathroom first to do all that.
Keep it a habit.
Right.
Yeah. So you kind of wake up, go to the bathroom, do number 1, 2, 3.
So the train, yes, 3.
3.
What's 3?
I don't know.
Both.
3 is blowing your nose.
Yes. Exactly. But I mean, if you do it like you just wake up and go, then it becomes a habit. And before your race, you're set. You're kind of done with that part.
Right. So the training is not more of just running.
No.
It's more of getting your body into that sort of rhythm or routine of, okay, I need to eat this, and then I need to shit, and then I need to do
Are
this.
you allowed to say that?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
right.
I heard it.
Right?
I listened to someone. Is it like, holy cow, you can say that?
Really?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
So,
Meanwhile, off camera.
yeah. So it's like kind of like you gotta get your body into those motions. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a lifestyle. You're kind of changing your lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of changing your lifestyle for the race kind of thing. Well, you're not really changing your lifestyle, but you're adding more.
Well, it's becoming your
Kind of are.
lifestyle.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it will
Yeah.
eventually
Because you
your
can't go to
lifestyle.
the bar every Friday, Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, right? And
Yeah,
then
Rene.
expect to do a.
Yeah, Renee.
I like wine.
She came to the race last week and she goes, "Oh yeah, I just had half a bottle of wine."
We did a
and
10-miler.
pasta." Yeah, there was a GRC's 10-miler, and
So Renee's an example of not needing to exactly just train and stuff like that. It's more of kind of
Oh no, I need to train.
okay.
That I was not ready for that 10-miler.
It was peer pressure.
but it was peer pressure. But I have 2 tips. 2 things that are definitely bad before a long run is lots of wine, like half a bottle of wine, or Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
Never have Korean barbecue before a long run.
Especially
That's a good tip.
Yeah, especially the kimchi and the bean sprouts, right?
it's more of the fats and
The fish
the
cakes.
oils. Oils are bad when you're running.
Listen, people, listen to Renee.
I mean, I think it's also a good thing too, so you don't pressure yourself so much
For sure.
for the race.
For sure.
Because if you get too competitive, you kind of overdo it.
Yeah.
sometimes. So it's a balance. If it's not an A race, like if it's not your goal race, I mean, try new things. Like if you're just running a random 5K, you can always practice. Okay, the night before, maybe I'll eat a pizza and
see if
race.
it works for you.
Because pizza's
And
kind
you
of
can
good.
literally eat a pizza before if you train your body to consume
Yes.
pizza.
If your body's
Run.
used to it, then why not?
My first triathlon.
The candy thing makes sense then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I do
okay.
Her
it
body's
all the
used
time.
to it.
Right.
Yeah, so I ate a
Fuck,
pizza.
I'm glad we
before.
tied this end. Yeah. It's perfect.
Pizza's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, not like the junkiest pizza you can get.
Yeah.
But like
Supreme.
I mean,
Hawaiian pizza.
the bread,
carbs, the cheese,
cheese,
for
and
your
the sauce.
bowel
Yeah.
movements.
And there's not much fiber, so it won't upset your stomach.
Right.
Thing, so pizzas go
Pizzas go hand in hand with
running.
running.
I think. I mean, I do
Before
that,
and after.
but never eat red
Yeah.
velvet cake.
What?
I like how all the guilty pleasures are coming out,
Cool.
before.
See,
We've all
because
had that
that's
one.
the reason why we run.
We eat it and
Yeah.
run. We run to eat.
Yeah,
Kind of.
guilt-free eating.
No.
I eat because I'm unhappy. And I'm happy because I eat. Right?
No, you're happy because you run.
And you're happy because you eat.
And you're happy because you get to eat your
Yes.
food
Yes.
because you work it off. I burned off 1,400 calories today.
So I'm gonna. I burned 1,400, so I'm gonna eat 2,000.
Yeah. What do you guys do? I see you guys are both sort of wearing the same watch. Are those Garmin's?
Yes.
Yes.
So
All
Yeah.
of us,
Yeah.
right?
So what is it sort of?
See, that's me.
Triathlon watch, girl.
Yeah, but I only run.
So how does that help in the aspect of you trying to stay in the mental game when you're running long distance?
It's kind of a motivation for me. Like
Yeah, just pull it again. Just
it
it's okay.
beeps.
I'll keep reminding you. It's
Oh.
okay. Yeah.
My watch beeps every mile.
Okay.
So whenever I go for a run, I always wait for that beep.
It wouldn't be a sort of how do I say this?
Distraction.
Yeah, a sort of distraction, or maybe like tricking yourself into thinking you're almost done, or
Well,
No.
if you know you're running 5 miles and you hear the first beep, that's the first mile.
right. Yeah,
So,
of course,
I mean,
of course.
But then sometimes it can get kind of distracting because you want to go for an easy run and it
Yeah.
beeps and it gives you a really slow mile.
Right.
And you're
Renee,
like,
go ahead.
oh.
You want to say something here? Yeah.
Or it can fool you into thinking you're running a lot slower than you actually are. My
I think
mean,
that's what I was
I'm
getting.
gonna
at,
use
yeah?
it as a segue because my first marathon,
Yeah.
my last 6 miles, my watch stopped syncing to GPS. So I literally had no idea how fast I was going. And because I trained here in Guam and I did my marathon in Portland, it was a little bit hard to really gauge like how my body was really feeling. So I was like, okay, yeah, like I'm running fast, but it's a comfortable fast.
Yeah.
And it turns out I was running my last 6 miles at a 5K pace, but my watch was telling me it was like a 9:30 pace. And so I'm like, okay. And so I overdid it quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Wait. So
Right, but
well,
Yeah,
hold on.
I
So
yacked.
so it's so the watch needs the GPS in order to accurately tell you
Yes.
your pace. It just can't independently tell you based on how fast your arm is
Well,
moving.
There actually isn't for the Garmin. There's I'm a Garmin advocate now. But
Okay.
there's actually a
not sponsored by Garmin
yes.
at all.
Nope.
there is
Disclaimer.
This show actually.
an accessory for the watch that
Mhm.
you can actually put on your shoe that will test your cadence, so that in that situation, if your GPS fails, it can go by your cadence to tell you how fast your pace is.
Okay.
But more importantly, about how the watch helps you or doesn't help you is to really do those tempo runs and figure out your pace, like learn your body, so that in case of that situation, you know
Yeah.
how you're performing.
Okay.
Your
Are-
body already knows how it feels to run. Like, oh, this is
Like
9-minute pace.
I'm
This is an
really?
8-minute pace. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're used to doing it, if you train.
Man, that's amazing. Yeah, just to know the tempo that your body can move
Mhm.
rhythmically in a run, and
Yeah.
to understand
plus-
that your time depends on the sort of strides you're making or how fast you're looking at your knees, right? I don't know. I'm not.
Look at your knees.
Well,
I don't know. I look at my
be
knees.
careful, you're gonna fall.
You're gonna bump into a pole.
You're gonna get hit by a car, right?
Yeah. Well, you can't. Well, not like beginners really don't care about watches and stuff. But if you're getting serious in running, most of we get to get tempted to get a watch
Because
and,
everyone has it.
Right.
Yeah, and then you want to know how far you ran, how long it'll take you, and what your pace was every mile.
I
So
see.
so if when you get serious with running, that's like an indication.
Yeah, I mean, I waited till probably halfway through my training as well before I decided to get the watch. And it also is something that it'll track your performance.
Yeah.
So, I was able to see over my 6 months of training for my first marathon where I was at, like, how was I performing in month 2 and month 3? And it's kind of fun to look back
Yeah.
at it and check those stats.
It's
So
motivating.
So there's an app where you can track everything you're doing.
yeah.
There
Your
is an app.
Your sort of progression, right?
There is an app for that.
There's an app for that. Google that shit.
Yeah, you can say that word. Nami.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's a free for all show here. We talked about periods. I don't think there's any worse we could get there. No, I'm just kidding.
I think periods are. It should be talked about.
Of course.
Openly.
Of course. Yeah. Actually, I'm all for like talking about it, discussing it, and making people aware. I actually support this couple that I met in Thailand, and they make robes in Tanzania, and for every robe that they sell, the profits go to this organization called the cup.org, and it provides a teen a menstrual cup because
Aw.
menstrual cups and stuff like that are not available, or tampons and pads are not of something available in that region, right? So yeah, comfortable talking about it. If you're wondering why I'm talking about it so comfortably, grew up with women,
Well, guys have some problems too, I believe. I mean, I feel that guys have more.
So what did John tell you?
the guys in the room.
Wow.
Share, Manami, share.
Well, John was an hour earlier. I think, from my personal experience, I think guys have more bowel movements than girls.
Okay.
Is that true?
You said from your personal experience.
Yeah. So I know a couple of athletes that.
Okay.
What?
No, go ahead.
I know a couple of athletes that have to stop during their race to go use number 2
To take a shit,
or
yeah.
even
Yeah.
poop on themselves.
How often is it that it's wait, did you say poop on themselves?
Yeah, you didn't watch
This
the
is a
Olympics?
serious thing.
no.
Like, I read about this in my training, and I had to call her. I was like, "Does this really happen? I'm going to be running for 4.5 hours. Do I need to worry about this? Like,
Yeah. So is it more like we're getting really deep here.
From
Is it-
period
is
now
it-
to poop.
Down to
First
poop.
timer question.
Is it like the squirts, or is it like solid?
It's everything. It depends.
Just pray that it's solid.
Yeah, it's creamy.
Oh my goodness.
It's too much.
I'll say runners love talking about poop.
They do. We do.
Well, because you have to deal with it,
You
right?
have to.
Yeah.
It's either you do it before you run, do it during your run, or do it after your run.
Right.
That's
And if you're really trying to run for time, you're gonna do it while you're
yeah,
running,
because
right?
in the Olympics, this French runner Walker pooped himself and he finished the race. I think he came in second.
Second? I hope it was second, because if it was 15th, he should have at least stopped on the side.
But you're running in the or you're walking in the Olympics, so I don't know. But it happens often, right? Right.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
I know somebody that did the Guam. I'm not going to mention
Yeah, you
names.
don't have to mention
I'm
names.
not
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
mention.
Yeah.
But he did a marathon and then he had to do number 2.
Yeah.
So and he was trying to qualify for Boston.
Wasn't that last year?
No, Manami, no.
Oh no. I mean, no.
Yeah, so he had to stop and go to do number 2, and it just messed up his time. So yeah, it happens.
Right.
So again, you gotta prepare, practice, train your poop before you go running.
Right.
You gotta train your body.
Everything that we've been talking about is really starting to make sense, just because you're making your body adapt to not normal situations, right? Being a runner is not an everyday life thing. It's not like you wake up, go to work, and come home and watch TV and do it's you're running for most part of the day. Yeah, sort of.
Early in the morning.
Yeah, so when you need to poo, you're running.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to move that need to poo in the beginning of your run or before your run.
Well, some too, it happens because, I got to carb load because I'm going to have a race tomorrow. So carb loading is like their excuse of like, I'm going to go to CAP tonight. Let's go. Like they eat something different, and then it ends up like having their stomach irritated, and the following day their stomach is not used to like having all this heavy loads of carbs, and you're not able to poop it right away because your body's not digesting it as fast, or not used to digesting that much of carbs that you ingested the night before of the race. So you go run, and then in the middle of your run,
you poop yourself.
You poop. Your body's like, woo, it's used this energy. This digest this really fast.
Yo, dog, needs to come out like now.
Now, because we have more stuff above. No, yeah.
Well,
you just want to avoid.
Down, you're gonna poop.
You
just want to avoid
hold it though. You can hold it. I mean, I ran GIM or UGM, or before UGM, it was GIM.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I ran my second half marathon wanting to poo the whole race, but then I had a really good race because I needed to poo, and if I exerted myself more, then I would poo on myself.
Yeah.
So it really.
So I thought you were like running so fast. It's like I want to finish this shit. I said the word.
Well, we're talking about it, right?
I gotta finish running. I gotta finish fast so that I can go. Shit.
So
I said it again.
So it'll be. You were able to keep pace to prevent yourself from just pull it up. Yeah.
So it's either I go stop in the bathroom and then make up for it, or run a steady pace throughout the whole race and keep it in me.
Right.
And I chose
so you're sitting at the threshold of.
She was doing Kegels.
Yeah.
You know what that is, right? Kegels? Like those. She was doing the Kegels the whole time.
Well, through this conversation.
Like it's like.
I think if I was a female, then we can start going into that realm.
Exercise.
You guys can explain it to her. Go ahead.
Oh, I think I know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, never mind. Kind of, sort of.
I love it.
She was doing it, right?
It got.
Kind of too young for this.
Oh, this is great. Okay.
You're ready.
Not ready. John, we're not ready.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, I want to go into music, because for me when I do run my 1 to 2 miles, I need music. I need music because I don't want to listen to my breath. I don't want to listen to me breathing. It's sort of a distracted. If I put myself in an automated mode, then I guess that's just me. If I put myself in an automated mode, I would be able to get through my run easier, because I'm not trying to control like, oh wait, hold on, wait, shoot, and that's me. That's just me. I just suck at running in that aspect. So do you guys apply music to your run, or is it easier for you to run without music? Because I talked to Dr. Fred Schumann, right? Big runner in the community.
Yeah.
And he said he preferred not to run with music. And so I guess, is it sort of kind of like what you want?
Some people use it because for distraction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to like
I don't think
about it.
I've ever seen either of you two run with headphones on.
I tried before, but it feels like I'm like I feel like I'm like just running like this. Like I feel claustrophobic with it. So I kind of want to hear what's going around me. I want to hear like, I don't know.
So you don't want that tunnel vision?
No, I
feeling?
don't. don't.
I do.
I like the view. Guam, man, it's so pretty.
I listen to Thunder by Imagine Dragons.
Nice.
To pump me up.
Okay. Yeah, so there would be songs that would kind of help you pick up your pace, kind of like a power stride or something
I like to listen to music when I'm going easy, and I like to listen to slower music, so it just slows me down instead of listening to upbeat music. And
right. 127 beats per minute, right?
I do that when I'm in the gym and I'm on the treadmill. I listen to music, Christmas music.
Wow, interesting.
All year long?
Year round?
Yes.
Wow.
Why not?
Interesting.
It makes you feel good. Christmas is really, right? It's a really best time of the year. Why not?
No. I'm definitely one that likes listening to music as well, and my playlist varies. I have a playlist that is more upbeat stuff that really gets me excited, and then sometimes I'll just put my phone on random and it'll play any sort of stuff.
So
like
you're not
slow.
you're not setting your music to, so say you're running a 10 miler or a 13 miler or even a marathon, 26, right? 26. You're not building a playlist specifically for every mile. So every mile you want to pick yourself up, or
I don't. There might be some people that do.
How many
that.
songs do you have
I
to?
don't I just like.
How many songs that? 4 hours of like.
Songs that like when you hear it, it makes you want to dance.
well,
or
good
like,
thing it's not a CD player, right? They will be skipping every moment.
Like,
I wonder what
okay,
people
done.
did. Yeah, but I mean, music can be a plus,
Right.
but it can also distract you from what's going on around you. So it
Yeah.
kind of
In what aspect?
So like, let's say you're running and there's a car that
Yeah,
is
it can be
turning,
unsafe
or-
too.
I mean, you can't hear what's going on also. So let's say like there was an
But if it's in a race, you're not, I mean, not necessarily for training, but if you're in a race, it's controlled, right? So you're not
Yeah.
really worried about traffic or any kind of environmental thing happening, right?
Yeah.
Well, first, I would just say a disclaimer that headphones are prohibited for our race.
Can't be wearing Beats by Dre.
But when
Not
I
sponsored by
run
Beats by Dre.
regular and in races, when I don't listen to rules, I do use my headphones. But what I suggest for people, if you
one
do
ear, right?
like the music, is one ear, because it is very important to hear your surroundings. And even in the race, when it is we have the roads coned off. There's police personnel, course marshals, and all that stuff. But you need to listen for the people around you. You don't want to be cutting people off. Like so often when you're running, and then if you're not paying attention, you're like, oh, I want to get over now. And you go, shh, but there's somebody just to the right of you, and then you bump elbows or
Yeah,
cut
you
them
didn't
off.
hear on your left, on your right.
Yeah.
So you have to pay
Yeah.
attention to that.
Good job.
But yeah, when you're racing, I think you should, or what I like to do is focus on my breathing and focus on my feet and focus on, not focusing on the pain, but just focusing on the body, because when you have music, you can't hear yourself breathe and you can't tell if you're going at a good rhythm. And
Yeah.
it's,
Because running is like I feel like sometimes when I run, I feel like I'm dancing. It's like everything in sync. Like your hand, your breathing, your feet. You're like dancing. I don't know.
Right. No. That makes
Yeah.
kind of makes sense. You found a transitive
Yeah.
quality of running to something that you've
Used to
trained
do.
yourself, that your mind was
Yeah.
trained to do in that sort of like staying rhythmic, staying to
Yeah.
music. Interesting.
Good job again.
Interesting. Nice. Yeah. I feel like we touched on a whole bit. How long we've been going here? We've been going for about an hour. Yeah.
Let's talk about
Hour and a half?
our support
Jeez.
group. You know.
Yep. So right now I'm a professional triathlete. So, and I'm taking a semester off of school. And before I go to Australia, I mean, I'm just training. I'm training, sleeping, and eating, basically.
Right.
Training 4 or 5 hours a day at most, maybe longer. And I need the support. I mean, I don't know much about my bike. I need water support when I'm running. And my fiance,
It's only one person.
That's John.
that's John.
Yeah.
He gets my bike ready.
Aw.
He gets my bike ready. He motivates me. He's also an athlete himself, so he's up at 3:45 and goes out riding at 4:30.
So you guys are literally making this your life.
Yes. And so he thinks that I have a shot, and he gets my bike ready. If I need water support during my run, he would put his things aside and help me.
How did you know you were ready to become a professional triathlete?
I didn't really know. I just jumped into triathlon, and my results showed that I could race with the pros, and
you can keep up.
Yeah.
Where was your? I saw on your blog. Yeah, I should mention again. You were a really good blog writer. Oh, yeah, I enjoyed reading it. Yeah, seriously, you should definitely keep it up, because it'll definitely give people an insight as to what it takes to be a professional. Mm-hmm. You know, you talk about everything, right?
Everything.
Literally everything from the pre-race meetings to the pro meetings to whatever it may be, to the race itself. Mm-hmm. And I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you feel like you're there, right?
Yeah. I mean, there are some points where you had me laughing. I was like, geez, that's pretty funny. It's good.
To give props to Manami's blog, one of the posts that I really like was the one time you ran a 5K, and you said it was like your worst 5K ever. And it's just like, you know what, even people that are pros or training all the time, they still have bad days. And it kind of made me feel like, oh, okay, like, well, Manami is a normal person. but it, you know, I mean, it felt like I could relate. So when I had those bad days too, it's like, okay, I understand now. Like it just happens, you know, you just have to kind of deal with it, accept it, and then don't stop training. Like keep going, keep doing all the right things.
Yeah. What was your feeling going into your first professional triathlon?
I did not know what to expect. I mean, I knew that there was way faster girls in the field, and I was really excited. I mean, I was supported by my fiance and my sponsors and my friends, and they just all said, you can do it kind of thing. And I just went into it surprisingly really relaxed. I mean, there's nothing I could expect, so I can only do my best, and that's what I can control. I can't control the weather or
the other racers.
Or anything else. So I was very excited. I was first out of the water. Yeah. And I came in 6th overall.
On your first try.
Not bad.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, for
awesome.
sure. That if there's anything that's more signifying that you should be a part of the competition. Yeah. That's got to be it.
Yeah, and I went back and forth with one of the other girls, and I was like, oh, I'm really racing the pros. I mean, I wasn't even doing triathlons last year, but now I am, and it was just amazing. But I couldn't have done it without the support that I received from John and my sponsors and my friends. I mean, I ran with Rene a couple of times, I think, right? I ran with Rhea all the time on the weekends, 5Ks.
Not really. She's like in the front.
We're not
I'm like behind her. I'm her support group too.
She's like breathing behind me, and I'm like, oh, I need to go faster. So, you know, I mean, all the motivation, and it's all for fun. I mean, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be doing it. Yeah. And it's crazy. But I'm very grateful for the support, and just even with the running community on Guam, everyone's just supportive and they're motivating. Yeah. Some people can be like pressuring, but I mean, I take it in a good way, because if you don't have pressure or if you don't have the competition, it would be kind of boring.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
So my support group.
Your support group is your fiance himself?
My fiance, and I have some sponsors, and my friends. My friends are the best. I mean, I have a group called the Suffer Sisters, and we all do triathlons. Some of them, or all 3 of them, are moms, and I'm the only little girl, and they are just amazing. They're just badass. I said a bad word. But
yay! See, you can.
We broke her. An hour and a half in, we broke her. There you go.
And Rene supports me. She's like, yeah, you can drink the half a bottle of wine and you can still race. And I'm like, okay, if you can do it, I can do it too.
Okay, I want to go back to running as a group. I'm only used to running by myself. Are you, when you're running as a group, whether it's a teammate or one of your team members in the group running, or it's a competition, someone who's your competition in the race, right? How much of that other person is useful for conserving energy Are you picking up drafts? Are you?
Whoa, that's so like.
Yeah. Are you?
Competition. That is so competition.
Yeah. I mean, are you going
cycling, but not running?
Not
Well,
running?
that happens. That happens, especially like running in Marine Drive.
Like
heading north.
running off of people's paces and
that
stuff.
actually helps.
Does it really help? Like, is that something like a key into?
It helps, but if you're the person
or is it a secret?
in front, it gets annoying.
Really?
If you're the person in front, I'm usually the person in front, and there's this one guy that's always.
It gets annoying. It gets annoying,
but like I slow down and I know this pace is comfortable for me, and I don't let things bother me.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I use him as like a competition.
Right. A little motivator to be like this.
Yeah.
This
So
guy's not gonna pass
bit,
me. Right.
And then I go slow, and then I go fast, and then I go slow, kind of thing.
So you're messing with him because he's trying to
keep up.
He's trying to keep to your pace, but your pace keeps changing. So he doesn't know his pace is changing, sort of, right?
I'm used to changing my pace, so usually he gasses out before I do, and I kind of beat him.
Right. Tricks.
Again.
Secret.
It's not a secret anymore, Manami. It's not a secret.
Nah, dude. I mean, in all honesty, you can share all the secrets, but it comes down to the individual, right? Like,
you
they can,
even if you
can
Google it, you find it there. You find it on the internet. It's just a matter of if you're gonna train for it. If you're willing to put an effort, if you're willing to really push yourself to do something, and do good in running. I don't know.
It's all commitment. It's like you can't just say, okay, I'm gonna run today, and then not run for a couple of days, and then you say, oh, I'm gonna race this, and then just go do it. It's more if you're really serious and if you wanna do good, you kind of commit to it. You don't go out partying.
You cannot just turn it on and off.
Doing bong hits like Michael Phelps, right?
You just
Sorry, too much. I like how you point the microphone
to
like,
Rene.
This is your department.
You're a pro at that.
I'm not the bong hitter.
I was gonna say, when I was training and I had somebody like telling me what to do every day of the week, and now that I don't have somebody doing that, it's like I think I'm gonna have a glass of wine tonight instead of running.
For sure, and I can see
happens
how
a lot more.
Yeah, I can see how not having someone pushing you and pressuring you to do things, you can easily slip into a bad habit, quote unquote, right?
And so for UGM, there's a
Intervention program.
I know. I wanted to say it. I've been thinking about it for like
Anonymous.
the last 5 minutes when we've been on this topic. But I was like, maybe I should not be the full
There's a program.
Yes. Yeah, there is a program. So if you are looking for a support group or team, not support group.
Yeah. That's what Alcoholics Anonymous is.
Yeah.
We call it AA.
Yeah, they got it.
If you don't know anybody that's into running right now and you want to get involved, we do have the community programs for that person. Whether it's the 5K, 10K, or the longer distances, we're working with HOTSA and also Run Guam with these training programs. So find a buddy or, go solo. You'll meet people that are in the same boat and want just tips, and they want the support and, learn different techniques like we were talking about, like speed work and tempo work. Like that's the kind of stuff you'll get by being in a group and feeding off of other people and the research they've done and whatnot.
Yeah.
For sure.
It actually motivates you too to have that, and then gives you accountability.
Like
I had these guys to
buddy
help motivate me.
buddy system.
Yeah, you guys should come out, and we'll be. No, not Manami. Manami's gonna be, but we will be there.
Manami will be in the.
Renee and I will be there.
She don't need the support group, right?
But I mean, you guys, you touched on this topic earlier too, like just how friendly runners are. It's like once you get involved in it, just starting the community program,
just show up.
So
just
many
show
friends.
Up, right?
Yeah, and everybody's like, come run with us. Like, there's always a group that leaves out a PIC every Sunday, and they'll do a run and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it goes for multiple sports, right? Half the battle is showing up, right?
Exactly.
And just doing it becomes just sort of
the other half is like waking up.
yeah, the other half is waking up and 0% goes to the actual sport.
Yes.
It does. Yeah. It's 50% waking up, 50% going to do it, and then 100% running.
Ah, nice. That's the combined 50%.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, there you go. Good job, Manami.
We're getting all your secrets. Yeah.
So I'm here to help. I mean, like, the ambassadors are kind of here to help. We're promoting the marathon, the event, and we're also here to help. I mean, if people have questions about running, we are knowledgeable enough about.
Yeah, we're not pros, but at least we kind of know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We have experience.
We have experience.
So what is the reason for the ambassadors of the Guam Marathon?
Yeah, Rene, what is really the reason for you letting us do this?
Well, exactly. This is we wanted people to connect with the event.
For sure.
We wanted them to recognize local people in the community that they see on a daily basis and be like, oh, they're doing the event, like they like it and they enjoy it, and kind of just to build that excitement about it.
Yeah, we're just kind of representing the running community in Guam, because it's not like we're like elite athletes. We're just normal people that run with these guys, and they just picked us up to represent the Guam.
Wait, I beg to differ. I mean, I was looking at you guys' accolades. I mean, you can't just say, nah, we're not elite. We're not elite runners.
There are elite
athletes.
You guys actually are on the elite runner list for the local.
There it is.
So like that's why, when I every year when I turn in my
we didn't know that.
Yeah. Why do you think you guys get bib number like 4 and 7 and like under 10?
No. Okay.
Well, we're really normal people, and I think
You're friendly and humble.
Yeah, we
right?
can just. I mean, I don't know about. Yeah, but I mean, I want people to approach me and just ask me questions about anything, like period, poops, everything.
For sure.
I want to be approachable, and I think we are all approachable, and I think that's with being an ambassador, it also like will probably help people to go to us.
Is this program? Because you guys is this something that's been going on for a while with the ambassadors, or is this something that the marathon?
Officially, this is the second year in a row, but I think all of you have kind of had a role in it, just because one, you've been our top finishers over the last 4-5 years.
6. Excuse me, get it
6,
right.
not 3, Rhea. 6.
For example, our race ambassadors, the relationship started early with Rhea and Derek, because the Guam winner of the marathon, they get to go to Fuji Yoshida and represent us, or represent Guam in that event. And so I think
beer.
So yeah, these two were the first year we did that, the top finishers, so they were able to go and kind of represent it, and we just kind of built off that relationship.
Nice.
I was pregnant then. Just saying. See, that was a year. I remember earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, we also want to be able to provide this type of information, what we're doing right now to everybody in the community.
To promote health and fitness.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely did learn a lot. As far as like the running aspect, what goes on in the mental, right? How do you get over the wall? How do you deal with the poops, right? Yeah.
Especially that, like, if you plan on running the UGM, it's like a lot of you start early. You just don't start like a month before. You kind of like start 3 months before. So, New Year's resolution. Hello.
Right.
Let's start.
It's the perfect time.
Yeah, it's perfect time to get to that. Some people probably like, oh, I'm going to start running. Yeah. So this is like perfect time for them to come to us and ask for, advice and stuff.
Yeah, and depending on where you're at in your training, I mean, you need probably a minimum of 16 weeks to train for a marathon, but you also need to be at a certain level already. You need to be running on a regular basis or working out already.
Or at least doing a 5K every weekend.
Doing 5Ks. Be able to do a 5K at a comfortable pace, and then you would be able to at least...
Without dying, right?
Without dying.
Oh my God, thank goodness that's over. That's me.
16 weeks is enough time to condition your body to at least be able to finish in a reasonable time. There's so many type of techniques out there. Like, I started my running doing the run walk technique where it's like I run for what's comfortable, and then I'll walk a little bit and then run again, and slowly you just kind of get more comfortable with running longer and running harder.
Cool.
I did that too.
Yeah.
When I first started, I ran walk because my mom introduced it to me.
Okay.
And
Just one more time.
I ran for 4 minutes
yeah.
and then walked for 1 minute, and that's how I started running also.
Right.
Even though I was 22 or 23. I mean, young people can't just go out and run.
For sure.
So, yeah, the run walk.
Young, like overweight for you.
I still don't believe that.
Yeah, me too. I
need
need
to see a
picture. I
picture.
need a picture.
Do you consider yourself in? I was talking to, who was I talking to? I was talking to Mike Carbolito. He's a black belt jiu-jitsu practitioner, and we were talking about the prime of a human, right? And where someone would consider them at their mental prime and at their physical prime. So as a runner, do you ever pass your physical prime, or are you constantly keeping your body in shape to where the physical prime doesn't really go away? Because I know Mr. Kim over at Lighthouse still runs and still medals in the Masters, right, of his races, right? And yeah, he has like 100 medals hanging up on his wall in that
You
restaurant.
should know Richard.
Mr. Richard Harvey.
He's 72. 72? 70 something. And he still runs 5Ks.
There was I just saw an article. I didn't read the whole thing, but there was a person that just qualified for the Olympics, the 50-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in your
Olympic
in
marathon trials.
your Facebook.
For the first time.
So she ran a 2:43 full
57.
marathon,
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
which
Oh.
is super fast.
Okay.
So she qualified for the Olympic marathon trials, which you can actually get to race like with the best in America and try to qualify for the Olympics. So she's a 50-year-old that did it.
Right.
And so with your question, I think for me personally, just looking at the athletes around me, the older, the more mentally tough you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Rene, I helped her with her marathon, and she just stuck to the schedule, and she's a little older than me.
I guess you're more.
Whoa. Settle down, man.
Stop it. So take the microphone. Take the microphone.
What you're talking about.
Before we start throwing out numbers here,
I see.
numbers like candy.
Take the microphone away from her.
Wait. I mean, I see more mature adults, like maybe in the 30s, compared to the early 20s. They're more committed. They know what they want, and they can push themselves.
So would you consider yourself in your physical prime rather than in your mental prime?
It depends on when you start, I guess, because I just started triathlons. I don't think that I'm anywhere near my physical prime.
But to go from a runner 1 year to a triathlete the very next year, I mean, that says something, right? About about the physical, like your physical being, of being able to transfer to another sport, add on 2 other sports to your already difficult sport.
I feel that I'm still in the beginning of my prime
Of your
phase.
physical prime? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, triathletes, they peak at 30-something, so
Okay.
and I'm still 25, and I feel that I have
5 years.
So you're like an
for it now.
infant in runner's
baby.
age, right? Okay.
Yeah. And Shalane Flanagan, the American
Record holder
record.
for New York, right? Is it New York?
Yeah,
that
she
was-
just won
She
the
was
gold
the
medal
first. She was the first American to win the New York Marathon, right?
in over 40 years.
Yeah.
So she's 30-something.
Wow, how did I know that? Wow, that was weird. Okay.
Yeah, how did you know?
I pulled it out
Well,
of
You're
it
a
was
runner.
famous.
my
It was
subconscious.
famous.
Yeah,
It was a
I remember
famous
seeing the
thing,
article.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's 30-something, so I mean, you can be any age.
So you mean she's old?
No, she's not old. She's young.
Careful, tread lightly there, Manami. Tread
I'm
very
saying-
lightly.
You're like
Wait,
surrounded
wait,
by
wait, wait,
old
wait.
people here, Manami.
Because I'm touching my 30. I'm 32.
Yeah, my fiance's older than me too. So. But I mean,
No, I'm
I
just joking.
look at older people, and I just think they're amazing because they can just.
You said it again.
Yeah.
It's so like hurtful.
Well,
Dude.
she said older, not old.
Okay.
Not old.
Right,
Just don't
right,
say that
right.
word.
Older than me.
We're so sensitive.
More
Mature
physically
people.
mature. There you go.
Who's
Yeah.
been living longer than
Yeah.
I have. I think they are.
You Really?
I really think they're more experienced in life, and they know what they want, and they're more committed. So I think that being older is mentally better.
Okay.
Or yeah.
Right. And it goes to my point that the older you are, the more you reach your mental prime, the older you are.
Yeah, because you're mature
and then
already.
your physical prime sort of goes away, so it's kind of like reciprocal, right?
So you're meaning you mean the body is like you mean the body is like is starting
Trying
to like
keep up with the mind now, right?
Well, I know. Julie Yamamoto, she's 70 something, and she still runs a 24-minute 5K, which was faster.
What about Joy Advincula?
Oh yeah, she
right?
runs
She's
22-minute 5Ks and she said she got her best time when she turned 50.
Wow. Okay.
So,
wow. I'm completely wrong. Yeah.
So I think it depends on where you're at, how you're doing it, how healthy you are. If you're older, I mean,
what about
can't be running.
Calvo? Marie Benito.
Oh, Marie Benito. She's just amazing.
Yeah.
She ran like a 3-hour marathon, sub 3-hour marathon, and she's still running.
And she's still running now. She still can run.
Well, she's still young.
She's. Oh, really? She's young and we're not? Really, Manami?
Trying to cover a track.
Yeah.
But
way
yeah,
to cover it up. Yeah.
There was a lot of. I should stop talking.
You know, it's kind of funny that, you know, you can mentally prime yourself to be in your better physical shape, even if you are at an older age. Like, I remember when I started running in high school with track, and I was a sprinter. And I remember like them trying to get me to do longer distances, and I did pentathlon, and I was like, 800 meters, this is so far. I don't want to do this. It was so hard at the time.
800 meters is half
Yeah.
a mile.
It was
Half a mile.
All right.
And
Yeah. I grew up on the U.S. customary system there.
I was 16 years old, and so I'm thinking like, this is so hard. But now, like, I was, you know, like these guys, we were able to go out and run a marathon, and it's like, because you're older and you have more discipline in yourself, like if I knew that if I ran further distances, I'd be a much faster sprinter.
I see.
You know, and it's like, but I'm older now than I was then, but I could have been a better athlete.
Oh, you're
then
admitting it.
if I was.
So you know
I'm older now than I was then.
So you know your body then, right?
Yeah.
And you understand how your body works and what you need to take care of it. Rhea and Rene, yeah.
I'm not old.
Okay, yeah, I'm not saying.
That's what you got on that question. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean like age is what makes you mentally more mature. I mean, I think it's just a matter of like how much time you put into it and the commitment.
Right. I agree. I completely agree.
Yes.
She's like, next topic, please.
Next topic.
I'm so hurt.
Can we just stop
You guys
talking
are all
about
young.
age? Ladies, this was fun. I know Leanne's hands.
Our manager.
She's holding the elbow like, all right, the wrist is about to give out.
Can I borrow one of your tripods here?
I think for the next one, you just might bring a tripod, right? Yeah. So thank you so much.
This was fun.
Yeah, let's finish off talking about the marathon, when it's happening, how people can sign up, promote the shit out of it, right? Sorry.
He said the word, Manami.
Promote it.
I'll be the serious one again.
Yeah, here we go.
Well, we have the next registration cutoff coming up on January 30th. So if you haven't registered, register now. We do have a link via our Facebook page, but also just go to the main website, UnitedGuamMarathon.com, and rates will go up as of February 1st. So just make sure you register. That's February 1st to race day is the last window. So if you want to save some money, do it now.
Yeah.
And start training.
Yeah.
And start training, yeah.
There's still time.
And the Run Guam training starts on
Sunday.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, promote.
I mean,
This is your absolute chance to promote anything
This is
that
why
you
we
want.
hired
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't get our handouts.
Yeah, didn't get the cue cards.
Yeah, but all of the information is on our website for the training programs. And then we have some exciting news coming out next week. So stay tuned for that. Check out our Facebook page. But
follow on Instagram.
yes, more ways to get information from the
Social
event.
media.
But for now, just check out our webpage again, UnitedGuamMarathon.com. Training info's on there. Course information. I think we're working on putting up the division stuff right now if it's not up there already. All sort of stuff. Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to give shout outs to anybody, your sponsors, your supporter, your support group, right?
Go ahead.
Thank you to my fiance who's been sitting on the couch for the past 2 hours.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
mine too. My baby fell asleep. Yeah, you might have heard him like a bunch of times earlier.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
Leanne,
shout
I
out
couldn't do
anything
this
you
without
guys
you.
want.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, our manager Leon.
Yeah. No, but we do have a lot of support and sponsors for the event. Obviously, United Airlines, our title sponsor, Pacific Islands Club, Guam Visitors Bureau, and we're still getting some of our other sponsors, but we are working with KUAM, the Daily Post, Hilton, Sheraton, Hyatt, Nico, Docomo. We'll be working with Gatorade,
Nice.
Run Guam.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
That's it.
so
Anything else? Yeah. Go ahead.
See you guys on the road. We'll be training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys via Instagram. I'll be
Yeah.
very
Follow
quick.
Manami.
They'll be the ones on the road in the morning. I'll be the one on the road in the evening. I'm not training for an event right now. So.
Yeah. How can people follow you on social media?
Yeah.
What's your handles? I know you got a big journey coming up starting next week.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean,
My Instagram is Manami Tries, like TRIS.
okay.
Triathlon kind of tries. And my blog is Manami Runs because I started it as a runner, but now I'm a triathlete, so they can follow me there. I mean, just kind of Google my name and I'll pop up on Instagram.
Okay.
So Manami.
You got the link in the bio and everything.
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
Yeah. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm more like an Instagram than a Facebook person. So Rhea.Macaluso. And if you wanna
If you want to meet her in person, she's at the gym from 5 p.m. to
Yeah, I'm in the gym at 4 a.m. and
Hey,
at
and she's
6:30
very
a.m.
approachable.
Yeah.
Open to questions.
But if you see me wearing my cap, don't get near me. I'm just kidding. No, just kidding. No, yeah. So yeah, if you need like motivation, you'll see everything on Instagram.
you can see her abs.
Awesome.
You can follow
My
me
former abs.
on United Airlines Guam Marathon on
Yes.
Facebook and United Guam Marathon
on
on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Awesome.
Yes, follow, because
Not just
you'll
me,
see
it's
tips
us.
and
Yeah.
and if you want to follow Rene has an Instagram too.
And she's single.
Really?
There you
Okay.
go. There you go.
Is it time? We're
All
done?
Ladies, I hope you guys had fun. I had I had a lot of fun. I hope to get you guys back on. Maybe when you come back from your trip, maybe when the marathon's done, you guys can come on. I don't know. Whatever you guys like, whatever the manager decides, right?
Yes, Miss Manager.
But tons of
Thank you
fun.
for having us.
Yeah, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I don't talk to runners that often. The last runner I had on the show was Dr. Fred Schumann, and that was over a year ago. And we talked about tourism half the time. So it's just to have a full-blown episode about running, swimming, biking, thought process, mentality, physical, outlets and stuff like that.
Physical outlets.
It's good. It's good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure. And
Thank you.
yeah, thank you everybody. If you're watching, if there's anybody watching online on Facebook, this is on Facebook. If you're watching on the United, what is it? The United Guam
United Airlines
Marathon.
Marathon.
Oh, really?
Facebook.
We're live?
I need to get
Oh,
this
she's
right.
she's been live the whole
Yeah.
time.
Holy cow. I didn't say anything.
No, but you're also live on our Facebook, so it's okay.
Holy crap. Oh, he said S-H-I-T.
It's a part of my show. Everyone will understand. But
yeah.
you.
So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everybody, for watching, listening, and if this will drop tomorrow. So if you're listening right now, thank you. Go sign up for the marathon if you're into that. If you're not into it, go sign up anyway. You never know. You might be into it, right?
Really.
Yes, if you want to volunteer, please send us an email at info@guaminternationalmarathon.com. Apologies, we didn't change that email address yet.
Yeah, something like
not to be confusing, but
maybe ugm.com.
Facebook page, you can send us messages there too, and we'll get information to you if you want to volunteer.
Yeah, if you want to be a water stop trainer or
no,
learner.
It helps us a lot.
I feel like you need to be trained to be a water stop person.
Yeah,
honestly,
ask my husband.
We also have prizes that we'll give away. We have contests for the aid station so that you can win something like water park passes or a prize from one of our sponsors.
Yeah. Cool.
The pro on that water stop, support is my husband. He runs with me.
Nice.
Just for Rhea, though.
Just for me.
He helped me last weekend too.
Oh yeah, he did. He did, Rene.
I was dying.
He said he felt like he was forcing the water in you. So,
Maddie, get the stroller ready. You're gonna push me in the marathon, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thank you, listeners.
Let's stop talking.
Watchers. Boom. Master Random. Peace out, everybody. Peace.
Salamat.
Ooh.